Hi guys, it's a nice rainy Saturday morning. Nice time to make some algebra videos. Why not? So I'm gonna solve this problem or factor this trinomial from the independent practice. I'm gonna use the magic and I'm gonna use MG's method. And so first I have to figure out if there's any GCFs. For these three problems, there are no GCFs. Unfortunately, no. So I am going to multiply A times C together, which is going to give me a negative. Here's A, here's C, negative 630. And then I have to find factors. When you add them together, it equals a negative. So let's take a look. Bring that in. Let's go ahead and put y equals 630 divided by x, second table. So here are all my factors. So for example, if it was 1 and 630, which factor would get the negative? Well, you can tell by that middle or the B, the sign of the B, that the larger factor is going to get the negative. So let's scroll down and try to find 2 and 315. Nope, that's too big. Let's go down, further down. 90 and 7, that's a negative 83. We have a 70 and a 9. Well, that one works. 9 and a 70, so a 9 and negative 70. Doesn't that work? That's a negative 61. I found it. Okay, so after we do that, we're going to split up that middle term into these two factors. So we get 10p squared plus 9p minus 70p minus 63. And then I am going to group them. I'm going to group these two together. I'm going to group these two together, and then I find a common factor. Well, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but there's only a p here. Remember, when you're factoring something out, you're dividing. 10p plus 9. Here we have two negatives. Okay, so we have to make it look just like this binomial in order to factor that binomial out. So I am going to somehow divide these two by negative to create a 10p plus 9. So I have to factor out a negative. A negative 7. Divide this by a negative 7. Divide that by a negative 7. So I factored out a negative 7. And so I get 10p. Negative and negative is positive 9. Now, after doing so, I get two terms. So I'm going to factor out of 10p plus 9. And remember, when I'm factoring something out, I'm dividing by 10p plus 9. And so the other factor is p minus 7. I did not have a GCF in the beginning, and that's my final answer. So let's take that and let's use MG's method. MG's method, I'm going to rewrite. I'm going to multiply A into C, so I get p squared minus 61p minus 630. Create my two binomials, positive and minus. Now I have to find factors of negative 630 that equal 61, and we've already done so here. It's a 9 and a negative 70. I'm going to put the 9 here because it's a positive and the 70 here because it's a negative. I'm going to go and put that original A and divide both of these by that A. See if it simplifies. If it doesn't simplify, 10 goes and becomes the coefficient of the first term. the numerator becomes a second term. I'm going to simplify. That's a 7 and that's a 1. That denominator goes and becomes the first term. 7. And as you can see, it's the same exact answer as that one. Okay? We're done. Good job, guys.